Hello. 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 Hi everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you know me, if you're friends with me, then you know who I am already. My name's Rachel. I don't know why I had to say that. Actually, this is too short. Wait, give me a second. Hello everybody. Yeah, well, so anyway, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm a bit out of breath because I just did like a little warm up, you know, to warm myself up, to G myself up for this. Today, I basically wanted to do a different kind of YouTube video. Like, I've been filming lots of vlogs recently, and I thought I would put together a video that would actually, you know, provide value and, yeah, help people learn stuff. I'm in a dance studio. Let me just show you where I am. It's a pretty dance space. So in today's video, we're gonna cover some tips for learning K-pop videos, K-pop choreographies. Woo! As some of you may know, I have been dancing to K-pop since I was like, since I was like 14, so a very long time now. I have been teaching since then. I have done a lot of competitions with Crave. Oh yeah, some of you might know me from Crave, New Zealand. Hello, I'm Rachel from Crave. I actually haven't been teaching these days, not because I don't want to, and not because I can't. That's a story for a whole other video essentially, but I've stopped, you know, excessively dancing just for my own personal health, and I'll cover that in a different video some other time. But essentially today I thought I would create a video to help people get more out of their dance journey when it comes to, you know, starting out, learning from K-pop videos, learning K-pop choreography, all that fun stuff. And I thought I'd share to you like my top tips for how I learn K-pop dances quickly and learning them properly, or as properly as I can. And this is a disclaimer, no one is perfect. None of us will ever get the choreography right unless you're the choreographer or you're the idols. And that's just because there are things that we don't know about, tips and tricks that they might use to make dancing easier, because they're
doing it for hours and hours in a dance studio and working really hard to perfect it and to look cohesive as a group and be very in sync.
And that takes a lot of time and energy and practice, obviously, that a lot of us don't have access to. So what we can do is, you know, enjoy, have fun, and you know, it's just a hobby. So just make sure that you're not pressuring yourself too much, that you're enjoying it, and yeah, you're dancing for yourself and to enjoy your hobby to the fullest. Okay, enough about that. Perhaps let's get straight into my, top tips. I don't know how many I'll give, maybe 5, maybe 10. Who knows? Did I plan this video to the T? Did not, but I will wing it as I usually do. So, tip number 1. My first tip is to make sure you watch dance video choreographies very meticulously, okay? Don't just watch it once and then be like, yep, I'll just copy whatever they're doing kind of and just be happy with it. And I mean, you can go that route. You totally could. Like, you don't have to, you know, spend as much time learning a dance video as other people, like me. Yeah, my first tip would be to make sure that you watch it as often as you can, even when you're not actively learning, even when you're just like, you know, on the bus or taking public transportation, you know, like where you're just waiting around. Try and have it downloaded on like a device if you have YouTube Premium.
Shout out YouTube Premium.
A lot easier to kind of review the moves and then just kind of let your brain do the work. You don't have to move your body all the time to get your brain to understand what it is you're supposed to do, you can just watch the video and point out like little things here and there, and then you can also slow videos down or, you know, rewind them as you need to. So for example, I've just learned something new and I won't get it perfectly the first time, no matter how hard I try. I kind of give myself a little bit of a break, whether it's like a day or a few hours, and then I come back to it and then I'm like, oh, actually that detail was wrong. That detail could be, you know, more perfect or that could be fixed. I can fix that, or, you know, that level as in like how low you need to be or how high you need to be, that could be fixed. Like what are they doing with their toes and all of that. Like you can spot those kinds of details if you're a little bit more patient with yourself and just like really take your time to learn the dances instead of like rushing and then just doing it once. Okay, sweet, nice. Take your time. Tip number 2. So my second tip would be to break things down. As in, you know, don't do everything at once. So for example, anti-fragile. Anti-fragile.
2 hours later.
For example, the chorus of Anti-Fragile, it goes, June, na 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 na, June, da 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 da, fairy tale, So in that like 8 count, and when I say 8 count, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You get it. There's a lot of things happening. So I've just done this. My fingers are moving, my head is moving, and now I'm lifting my leg to go up, and then doing this. And what is this? You know what I mean? And then you have to jump in, and then you do this, and then your body's doing something, and then your arms are doing something else. What I'm trying to say is there's lots going on when you're learning a K-pop video for the first time. And so a very useful tip would be to break down, you know, arms, legs, body. So body as in like torso, arms as in limbs, legs as in your lower limbs, and then your head as well. And I think I usually leave head to last because that's probably the easiest to change or to fix. Later on, your body will remember, and it'll be harder for you to change different things in your body when you find out like, oh, actually that's not what it's supposed to look like, or it needs to look more like this. Break it down, learn maybe the arms first, because then you're not doing anything. It's just like you're just doing stuff with your arms, like do, 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 do. Okay, and then take a top-down approach. So go from arms to your body, and then go down to your legs. Like what are the legs doing? And in this case, the legs are doing a lot. Like there's a lot of weight shift. By weight shift, I mean like shifting your weight from left to right, forward and back, to together, to jumping out. Like there's many different ways for your body weight to shift. Like where is the weight of your body going? Center of gravity. And how does this help make the dance look the same as in the video? That's a really useful tip, and it helps you not feel as overwhelmed, and you know, you're less likely to want to quit when you're learning a dance move. I know I've done that many times, but that's fine, because then I just go back and I'm like, okay, fuck, I'll just like take my time. Doing it that way is a lot easier on your brain and your body. Okay, cool, sweet. Tip number 3. Tip number 3, what's tip number 3? My third tip would be to do it with your friends. That doesn't just make it fun, because doing stuff with your friends is always fun, but it also makes it easier to, you know, point out little things. So there are things that you might have noticed in the dance, like little tiny details that you may have noticed while you were learning it, and then someone else noticed a different detail. You know, that's very possible. And at first it may feel like, oh, but I learned it the right way. No, you didn't. You know, it can feel a little catty at first, but I think the point is that you guys are just trying to help each other, and as long as you guys have that, you know, just the humility, the humility to accept when you're quote unquote wrong. I mean, you just learned it in a different way. Sure, it's wrong, but also maybe it's not wrong. Maybe it's just a better way of doing it. Who knows? It's just a fucking hobby. Don't take it too fucking seriously. You know what I mean? Just fucking have fun with your friends. Just do it because you want to, not necessarily because you want to look perfect. Because that is unachievable. We don't need that in our lives, okay? Just have fun, enjoy the music, and hang out with your friends while you do it. And then you'll learn something that maybe you didn't learn before. And then who benefits from that? You, period. Number 4. Tip number 4 is, what's tip number 4? Okay, tip number 4. Listen to the music. Listen to what you're hitting. Listen to what your moves are hitting. It could be the melody. Most of that is melody, right? If you don't know what a melody is, it's essentially, you know, like the main vocal of a song. When it's melody, it's very easy. But then there are times when you don't hit the melody, you hit the beats underneath, and you have to listen out for those. And you can't just do stuff at the wrong time. Well, you can, but then it looks weird. One thing that helps if you're not, you know, super attuned to the song just yet, or you know, you haven't listened to it a billion fucking times that you know exactly every beat. One very good tip within the tip is tipception is to count. If you haven't danced before, knowing how to count is really valuable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Equal intervals, so that's the general 8 count. So for example, the chorus of Anti-Fragile goes wee na 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 na. Okay, it goes like that. The counts go 1, 2, 3, 4 na 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 na. Okay, so there's a way for you to learn the moves without knowing the song by heart. You can still count the moves and match the move to the count. And sometimes it may not be a very straightforward 1 to 8 count. Maybe it's a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and could be like that. Which takes me to my 5th, and maybe it'll be my last tip. Maybe it's my last. The last tip, which is to take dance classes. By that I mean taking non-K-pop dance classes, so then you can at least learn where the basis of K-pop comes from. K-pop choreography is essentially a creation by any choreographer. Shout out to all the amazing choreographers out there. And they create choreography according to their own styles, according to a brief that they get given from the company, according to, you know, just like a collection of experiences and creativity. These choreographies, all the dance vocabulary, by vocabulary I just mean dance moves, they all come from somewhere, and usually it's hip hop. If it's not hip hop, it can be like any other street style, like house or whacking or vogue, and you may have heard of these before. And I do highly recommend that you take a class close to you if you get a chance, if you're able to, if you have the resources to do so. You don't have to like commit to like a whole, you know, course. You can just take a few just so you know a little bit more about where these dance moves originate and kind of learn the basics, the fundamentals of dance, and then that will help you get better doing K-pop, if that makes sense. Because then the more that your body is trained to do, the more you can apply those movements in K-pop, because they will show up. There's this move in Anti-Fragile. It goes on my way, she goes down and do 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 fairy tale So this whole thing is from whacking, That's a style that has been around for a few decades, and you know, it's its own style. It has its own rich vocabulary. A lot of work goes to it, but all you learn is just this one thing, and it looks cool, but there's so much more to that style than what is represented in K-pop. So I highly recommend that if you see something that you really like in a choreography, then you know, ask around. Where do you think that's from? What kind of style is that? Ooh, if you're really interested in it, then maybe you want to learn a little bit more of that style. And then actually train in that style. And I think that will make you a more well-rounded dancer. And then, you know, maybe, as it has for many people, K-pop is just one pathway into dance. And it has led many people into dance, into loving dance, which is great. Personally, I've been dancing since I was very young. In the Philippines, we learn how to dance from as young as I don't know, maybe 6, maybe younger than that. It's in our school curriculum. We're taught, you know, traditional dances like waltzes and salsas and, you know, very basic things, but those basic things all add up. So then when I started to learn K-pop choreographies, not all of the movements were unfamiliar to my body, which made it a lot easier for me to learn K-pop. So it's the same if you do a lot of dance outside of K-pop as well, then it will help you become a better K-pop dancer, if that's what you want to do, you know? So yeah, I hope you got a lot out from this video. Yeah, I hope you learned something new. I have been dancing for a very long time, and I have found that these tips have really helped me and, you know, make it easier for me to enjoy the dance, to get the most out of the experience as possible. For me, K-pop is just a hobby, but I really enjoy it a lot, and I know a lot of you guys do too. All around the world, there are so many K-pop fans, and it's so great to see a lot of us kind of coming out of the woodwork. You know, when I was growing up, K-pop was not really like a thing. It was one of those nerdy things that you do, but now it's so much more mainstream, and it's so cool to see a lot of people come into the community, into the scene, and then start their own dance journey from there. I have seen it many times. I hope you found this helpful, and yeah, let me know which tip you actually found super helpful. Cool, thanks.